In this tutorial, we're going to briefly go over how you define walls and doors in the Zebra model. Doors in this context only applies to opaque doors. If you have doors with glazing, you should define those in the glazing sheet. This is what the walls and doors sheet looks like in the Zebra model. Basically, what we need to define here is a list of our wall and door elements, and for each element, we're looking to define a U-value and an area. From that, the spreadsheet will calculate the heat loss as the product of the U-value, the area, and the temperature difference. For each element, we can either choose a standard construction, so for instance, plasterboard, 110mm block, mineral wool, and rain screen, and then we can define an insulation thickness. And from those values, the software will calculate the U-value for us. And then we just need to define an area. Alternatively, if the element we're trying to define doesn't match one of these standard constructions, we can choose either other wall or other door, and then we will have to define the U-value ourselves. And again, we'll have to define the area. So this is how we build up a list of the elements for the walls and doors to define our building. Once we've input some items, you'll see beneath this that we have a summary of the space heating demand, and we have a summary of the space cooling demand. So this is the losses through these elements we've defined. And the first part of the summary is a breakdown by element. So you can see here the blue is element A, which is our plasterboard wall. And the orange is element B, which is this door we've defined. We also have a breakdown over the months of the year. So that's actually everything you need to do to define our walls and doors. If we go into a higher complexity level, we won't actually have any additional inputs for this sheet, but we will just see a more detailed breakdown of how these values have been calculated. So that's a quick run through how we define walls and doors in the Zebra model. In the next tutorial, we're going to be going into how we define the ground floor.